All right, what's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a great day, man. I'm coming to you guys today with one of my most exciting videos so far. Now, if you guys have watched me play at all, whether it's on the EA channel through Madden tournaments or whether you guys watch my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/KMac, I run the Tampa Bay gun spread offense. I ran it last year. Last year, it was actually the Cardinals playbook. Bruce Arians obviously moved to Tampa Bay, so now it's the Tampa Bay playbook. And honestly, in my opinion, I think this is the most unique offense in the entire game. I've created this scheme completely from scratch. It has plays and concepts that beat every type of zone. It's so unique compared to what anybody else even runs. It's just a spread out set, and a lot of people don't really run spread sets this year just because it's really hard to block 1-4-6. But throughout the series, it's going to be a multi-part series. Throughout the series, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I beat 1-4-6. There's a couple different ways that I do that. You guys go check out my last video as well, how to block 1-4-6. I'll show you guys 3 different ways to block it with actually running spread. So you guys definitely want to go check that out. I will reiterate some of those points though throughout these videos. But I wanted to show you guys in this first video, basically we're going to be going over my personnel, my roster build for Madden Ultimate Team. Now, if I was using regs or plain regs, I would use either the Seahawks or I would use the Texans. It's just personal preference there. Both of those quarterbacks have agile extender though, so they're going to be able to break sacks from 1-4-6, extend the plays, and you don't really have to worry as much about blocking. So I'm going to go ahead right here, go over my personnel for Mutt, and then we're going to go over a couple plays in this video as well, and then we'll go over some more plays in future videos. But off the rip, the question I get asked the most, whether it's social media, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube, KMac, who's your golden ticket quarterback and why? I prefer Josh Allen. Now, spread is mostly a pass from the pocket style of offense, and that's why I prefer Josh Allen. I think he has the best release. He gets the ball out super quick. He's just a great playmaker. He doesn't really fumble when he gets hit. He breaks a lot of sacks. Like, this dude is just an absolute baller for me. Yeah, he definitely misses some throws here and there, but every quarterback in the game definitely does that. I'll show you what abilities I'm rocking on him right now. If you're playing an offense like bunch or something where you're going to roll out more, RG3 or Michael Vick or Lamar might be better options for you. But again, for the spread offense, I like Josh Allen. He's the best release in my opinion. Now, the 4 abilities I have on him are Hot Route Master, Gunslinger, Escape Artist, and Agile. I use Agile Extender. Agile Extender and Anchored Extender are kind of the same thing. It's just personal preference. Again, you can try them both out, see what you like better. It's just going to be a slight variation in animations when you break sacks. But I like Agile Extender. I like Escape Artist, obviously, to be able to roll out of the pocket. Gunslinger, basically faster animations. You guys know how crazy the sheds are, how crazy the blitzes are in this game, so I want to be able to get that ball out as quick as possible. And then Hot Route Master gives us the ability to hot route any receiver on the entire field to any route, which is really cool. You definitely don't need Hot Route Master for this, especially like in regs, you don't need Hot Route Master, but I do like Hot Route Master just to get more creative, put some more interesting route concepts out there, and just carve my opponent's defense up. So if you weren't going to use Hot Route Master, you could use Identifier as well. Identifier is a great ability. I really want Identifier, but unfortunately we only have 4 ability slots, and I find these 4 to be the most important. So I love those abilities, really do. On Josh Allen, I use Fearless as my X factor, so I don't get this pressure inaccurates. You could use Bazooka or whatever you want. Brick Wall is a decent one as well. Now, one of the weird things that I do is I use 2 tight ends in my slot receivers. You don't have to do this, but I do use Gronk and Golden Ticket Gentry in my slot receivers in spread. Again, it's a 2x2 set. I use them in my slots. And I don't know, man. I kind of like the people who are a little bit slower, bigger bodies. They're just going to be able to go up and get passes over the middle of the field. A lot of those passes over the middle and spread are going to be contested. And these 2 guys with their huge frames are going to be able to snag the ball, especially with the abilities that I put on them. And they're a little bit slower as well. Now, the reason I like slower people here is because there's a deep corner route in this offense that I'll show you a little bit later, and I actually prefer my players to run it a little bit slower. That way they don't sprint that super quick to the sideline, and they either don't get their feet in bounds, or a deep blue on that side of the field towards the sideline is going to be able to easily play it because they just run so fast. But by running slower, that deep blue is going to have more time to back off, leaving the corner route wide open. And the same goes for other routes like seams. I love to run 4 verticals against like cover 3 and stuff like that in spread. And I just want those deep blues to have a chance to move back a couple more yards. And by our players running a little bit slower, it's going to allow them to do that, leaving those receivers more open. And this is not really a bomb style of offense. Like, we're not looking to just completely bomb our opponent to take the top off every single play. It's more of a methodical offense, whether it's usually most of our passes are going to be between 5 and 25 yards. We're not really trying to bomb anybody, like I said, and it's just a really, really fun and unique offense to just put your opponent in an absolute mental pretzel, man. You guys know I love that saying if you guys watch me stream, but people are going to have to adjust when you play this. You cannot run stock coverage against spread, and that's my favorite part about it because most people don't really know how to make good adjustments on defense. So I'll show you what abilities I have on both Gronk and Gentry. So I'm doing a little bit something weird here with the fourth ability. I have Streak Specialist, Post Flag Elite, Slotomatic. Slotomatic basically is going to allow me to catch any route, any short route, zigs, hitches, slants, anything like that, out routes, in routes as well out of the slot. And I'm using Armbar on Gentry and Gronk as well. You could use Curl Comeback Elite here if you're not using tight ends. You can definitely use receivers if you want. I would use Curl Comeback Elite or Human Joystick. I would prefer Curl Comeback Elite because I do use a decent amount of curls in my offense, but Armbar is actually pretty fun, man. Love to get those decent yards, especially when my opponent's sending 7 at me, man. I love to just dink and dunk against people who blitz everybody, and having that Armbar could potentially result in a touchdown if you get a good Armbar, so it's definitely fun to play with. Tank is another one I've been messing with, but Curl Comeback Elite is definitely the fourth. If I was playing like a tournament or something, I'd probably rock Curl Comeback Elite, just get those 4 catching abilities. They're not going to drop anything with these huge frames, the crazy strength, all the abilities, like Gentry and Gronk are just absolute beasts. And then on the outside, I'm just going for pure speed. John Ross, nobody uses this dude. He's probably one of my best offensive players. He's so good. He catches the ball even without abilities. And then I use Reek or Torrey on the other outside receiver. Walter Payton on the middle here. And yeah, this offense just plays really, really well for me. Again, I'm using the Tampa Bay offensive playbook, Green Bay on defense. That's my personnel setup, though. Again, if I'm playing regs, I'm using the Seahawks or the Texans. Let's go ahead and jump into practice mode, and I'll show you guys a couple plays. All right, guys, so here we are in practice mode. I'm in my favorite play in the gun spread, which is quick slot out. I'll show you guys the play art right here, man. Quick slot out. It's a super simple play, and this is a play I love to use in 2 scenarios. One, when my opponent is running 1-4-6 or cover 2 in general, and then 2, when my opponent is sending the whole team. Now, the reason I love to run this against 1-4-6 is you guys know people love to come out in DB sting, audible to cover 2, and then press, so it kind of looks like this. For some reason, when you audible to cover 2, the DBs flip in practice mode, but here you go. It's a basic sell. All they would do is drag this guy in and blitz him. And they're basically forced to drag that dude in because he won't get a good blitz angle. He won't come in free if they don't drag him in and put him on a contain. And what's great about quick slot out is it's such a good stock play that all we have to do is we can do one hot route. We can just block our running back and then click onto this dude right away in motion. So we can do this so fast. So by the time they're already dragging in their contain, we are already snapping the ball. And then boom, we have this fade down the sideline that just gets absolutely naked. I would really recommend running this play when you're on one hash or the other. You can do this to the left side of the field or the right side of the field, but I would definitely recommend doing it to the wide side of the field. It's just going to get more open. And as you can see there, Metcalf just gets absolutely naked down the sideline. Again, super simple adjustment. Block the running back, click onto Gordon, hit right on the D-pad, and just go down the sidelines. And boom, just pass lead it outside, and that's an absolute dot. It's such a good play, stock, man. Excuse my snap. I got a Snapchat right there, but we throw an absolute laser right there, man. And I love that play because, again, it's so good stock. You can just quick snap it, just burn him down the sidelines. And if your opponent's in cover 2 sync with these soft squats, or they're in press clouds, you're just going to burn them down the sidelines. Now, one of the things that does potentially give me trouble is I'll show you here in just a second. Let me hop into this defense, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I showed you guys how to beat that cover 2 sync, whether they're pressing soft squats, whether they just have soft squats on the field, whether they baseline clouds. But one of the ways I will show you guys how to beat something that's really annoying that it can actually stop the fades is non-baseline clouds. So something that your opponent might do and very likely will do if you play online is they'll run big nickel over G, cover 2, and they won't make any adjustments. They'll just come out, they won't baseline, they won't press. It's just a super bot defense, and honestly, that's the best way to defend the fades. I'll go ahead and come out here and stock cover 2, and I'll show you guys what happens. Now go ahead and pay attention to this right side, Metcalf. Watch how he just gets bumped. You see he just gets bumped inside, and then if we throw it, his guy's actually able to go over there and make a play on the ball and potentially pick it off. So one of the ways I've recently dealt with that is instead of having somebody really fast out there, is I'll put somebody actually slow out there. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I'll show you guys how it works in just a second. Let's go ahead and throw Josh Gordon out there, Metcalf. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back out in that stock cover 2. And I'll show you guys how a slow receiver can actually benefit us a lot here. So let's go ahead. Let's roll out this time. And as you can see there, he gets open just enough for us to squeeze in the window. Somebody even slower would potentially get even more open. And the reason for this is because by the time he gets bumped and gets over the cloud, that deep blue is going to be backed off even further the slower he runs. If it's somebody fast like Metcalf, he's going to clear that cloud in an even quicker time, and the deep blue is not going to be that deep up the field, resulting in it not getting open as much. So in Mutt, the player I would use here is Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is going to be absolutely perfect for this role. Now, it doesn't even work that well right here in practice mode just because their safety up there, I believe that's Trey Boston, is actually really slow as well. So he's going to backpedal even slower. But in Mutt, when you have somebody like Ed Reed back there, he's going to backpedal even quicker. And when you have a bigger disparity like Michael Thomas and Ed Reed and Mutt, Michael Thomas is going to get even more open. Gordon's actually still decently fast, so this is not going to be as effective. But I will roll out here just as well, just to make sure we're getting that throw down the sideline. But as you can see right there, it's a bit of a tighter window, but just because he's slower, he's able to get underneath that deep blue enough to where we're able to throw it and fit it in a tight window. So that's something that's really, really effective. Definitely recommend that if your opponent's coming out in defense like nickel normal or big nickel over G, cover 2, where they're not baselining and they're bumping your fades. You can actually put somebody slower there, and it's not going to be as big of a gain. You're probably not going to score a touchdown, but you're still going to be able to get them for probably between 20 and 40 yards, especially if you roll out, just make the throw easier on yourself. But that's how I like to utilize the fade in this offense. And I'll show you guys why I like this play against the blitz as well. Alright, so if you guys play online, you guys are inevitably, whoa, big word there, SAT word, you guys are inevitably going to play against people online who just send 7 every single play, no matter what. They're so annoying. I hate playing against those dudes because they just don't get out of it. They don't make adjustments, and they'll just sit there and get dotted over and over again by the same play, and they'll never even try to stop it. So one of the plays that I love to run against my opponent in 7 is, again, quick slot out, because it is such a good play that we can quick snap. By the time they set up the blitz, we're already going to be snapping the ball. And the way it works is, especially when they're running 3-4 odd, is these dudes up here in the slots are not going to press the receivers, and they're just going to be so wide open that we can just snap it right away. And then as soon as he cuts, all we do is go ahead and hit him with a quick out route. So again, it's not going to be anything super flashy, but it's going to be a very, very quick laser underneath. So again, let's go ahead and set it up. One of the things you can do as well is basically just create a 2-read system here, block the running back, and then put Metcalf on a slant. So we can either hit the out route or we can hit Metcalf on a slant over the middle. And then when you're using Gronk or Gentry or anyone else really with Slot-O-Matic, they're going to catch the ball every single time they get their hands on it, even if they get hit afterwards. That's where Slot-O-Matic is really, really handy for me against these heavy blitzes where we're throwing these underneath out routes and slants and stuff like that. So that's why I love Slot-O-Matic. This is what I love to do against the blitz. Super simple play concept. Quick snap them so they can't get any quick adjustments off. Okay, so I showed you guys what I like to do against that man-to-man blitz. You know, we like the zigs, we like the slants, we like the quick out routes. Basically just quick snapping our opponent, hitting him with 2 underneath routes, just wherever their user isn't, you're throwing. So if they're on the left side of the field, you throw to the dude in the right slot. If they're on the right, you throw to the dude in the left slot. So it's super, super simple. Now, if they're running a cover 4 zone blitz concept, I'll show you guys what I mean by this. Let's come back out and quick slot out. We're making sure we have our fastest receiver on the outside, and we'll come out here and cover 4 drop show 2 and send the whole team. Another super popular concept as well, besides just the all-out man blitz. So here, quick slot out, cover 4 drop show 2. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna baseline, because you know people love to baseline when they do this. My adjustments are all messed up on defense. There we go. So let's say they give you a look like this. This just screams throw the fade right here, man. It's super simple. All we have to do is just hike the ball. And yeah, somebody's going to come free, but we're just snapping. We're pass leading to the right, which means we're holding our left stick all the way right towards the sideline. You can actually hold it diagonal as well, maybe like a 45-degree angle. Just bomb it up. Just tap it. You don't have to bullet it. Just lob it. Tap the button to your speedster out on the outside. It's going to be a free touchdown. If you see a baseline press, that's your notion to go. Now, if they're like this, it's obviously not going to work with the corner lined up over top. But most people do when they run zone blitzes against this. They will baseline, and you can just see there. By the time they go out there to click on them and try to move them over, we can just snap them already, and they're trying to run back, and it's just over for them. So that's why I love quick slot out. It's a super simple play. Again, you don't have to do a lot of adjustments, and it's really, really good against cover 2, 1-4-6 meta, and it's good against the Sen 7 meta. So the 2 biggest metas in the entire game, in my opinion, this play just absolutely destroys. But that's going to be the main play I go over for this video. I have a ton more plays for you guys to come. I'm going to be adding new videos about the scheme probably every other day. If you guys do want the other parts, man, please let me know in the comments below. Drop a like as well. And yeah, just let me know if you guys want more play setups, because this is just the very, very first play. We have so many more pass setups for you guys that can go over, and it's going to be a lot of fun to go ahead and show you guys. And then I'm just going to go ahead and sign out. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, man. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.